can see, back at it with the old biggie, trying to do things, making things happen on Sunday. Sometimes you just need a little bit of visual representation to really get the creative juices flowing. So as you can see with our handy dandy Turbski Holder 5000, just kind of trying to get a rough idea. I did go ahead and ordered a Griffin radiator, dimensions 24 wide overall, 16 tall to 3-inch core, which going from the lower radiator support will bring it right about there. So obviously the turbo's not going to actually sit here. It's actually going to sit back a little bit, but I'm going to have the inlet just over the radiator. That way it's not heat soaking it like it was on iteration 1. Fun fact, realized that I didn't order just one Ford Performance oil pump. Apparently over the past 2 years I forgot I ordered one, and I ordered a second one. So now I have two. We're gonna go ahead and get one of the two apart so we can install our boundary billet oil pump drive gears. This is why we check things. So this is the gear that came out of the pump. As you can see, it's pretty much flush with the mating surface right here. The boundary pump gears are actually recessed down, which means this is going to walk. Which leads me to assume that this housing is actually not from a 99 to 2002 valve. So we're not going to be able to use these oh so pretty expensive billet oil pump drive gears. Good news is this is a Ford Performance pump, so this should be okay. I know somewhere I have a 99 to 2000 factory oil pump housing, so I'm not going to get rid of those. I mean, either way, I've got two Ford Performance oil pumps, so it's not that big of a deal. But the oil pan gasket won't be here till later this week. I also ordered another set of headers, and I ordered a Griffin radiator. So we're kind of on the parts waiting game, but I know I've said it before. Every time I work on this thing, I say it's not going to be forever till the next time I work on it. It's not going to be forever till the next time I work on it.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So it's a few days later. And as you can see, we have more headers to pick from and try to make work for Biggie Turbo Kit 2.0. And I couldn't wait, so I literally got done with work, went home, picked them up, came back. So now we're gonna find out if we can make this work. I know I can make this guy work right on this side, and I'll bring y'all in closer for a closer look later, but you can believe me when I say I only have to dimple one runner just a teeny little bit. So let's find out if one of these will work.
A few moments later.
Well, shoot. then we'll be right back. The important thing is I can actually make this work. And then on this side, I did have to tap it on, but that's because it is hitting the motor mount. So I hit it with the hammer a couple times, hopefully give me a little mark so I know where to clearance it. But at the end of the day, we can make this one work too. So I'm gonna level with you. I honestly don't think that one's gonna work. I think with how wide it is, I think it's actually gonna run into the control arm. Which brings me back to this one, which will work with the exception of, alright, this nub right here hanging off of the block. Now, I have no problem trimming that back a little bit because it's just this little square portion. But obviously we'd need to do that on the new motor, and it does not have an oil pan on it yet because I did not get the gaskets. So with that being said, we're going to start scavenging timing components and putting parts on the new motor. We'll come back to you two later. Alright, we got all the bits off of that, and now I'm gonna clean them and get them ready to go on that. But first we need to install our oil pump. Before we go getting too carried away, I found our first difference between the non-PI bottom end and the PI bottom end. If you see, we've got our dowel for our tensioner guide, and then there's this guy. Same thing on this side. You come over to the PI block, and there's a hole for the one. And over here, they didn't even bother drilling out that. So what I need to do is go ahead and get these out so that way there's no interference with the timing chain, because it's the last thing I want is issues with this motor. Problem numero 2 with running a non-PI bottom end and PI head. If you look, this guide is supposed to bolt up right where that dowel is. And on a PI motor, that hole is much smaller and tapped. So, think that's going to be it for tonight. I've got some research to do, because I know people have done this. I don't know if it's just a matter of getting a non-PI guide, which I don't think I have any more of those. But yeah, I gotta do some research and digging. But long and the short of it, we got exhaust headers that should be able to work. We got scavenged bits, installing bits. Just need a little bit more research. So that's probably gonna be it for tonight, unless I miraculously come up with a solution for this without getting parts or leaving. So yeah, more parts should be coming in later this week. Hoping to get some more wrench time in on it this weekend. So, till then, guys, peace.